Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about study tips, how to ace your next exam. So the tips that I'm going to talk about, I have tried and tested them and they have worked for me. So I can't guarantee you that all the tips are going to work for you too, but you can try them out and definitely some of them are going to work for you, and whichever works, you stay with those. So the first thing is focus. So you need to make sure you know what you're studying, you need to pay attention, and you need to do focused learning. So what does focused learning mean? It means that you know what you're sitting to study. It's not like I sit with three subjects and then I don't even know what I'm supposed to study. So I open one, then I open the other one, then I open the other one. So that's just time wasting. So what you need to know is you need to know exactly what you're supposed to study. So you can plan what you want to study in advance. So maybe if you are supposed to study for 2 to 3 hours or 2 to 3 subjects, so maybe in advance, just spend the first 15 minutes planning on how you're going to study, how you're going to spend your time, and then start studying. The second point is time. So this 90-20 rule. That means that study for 90 minutes, focus study, and then 20 minutes take a break. Then the next 90 minutes, and you can do as many sessions as you want. Though I wouldn't recommend doing more than 2 consecutive sessions, but well, it's up to you. Then there's another technique which is the 25 rule, that is you spend 20 minutes studying and then 5 minutes break, 20 minutes studying, then 5 minutes break, and then after every 4 sessions, you take a 30 minutes break for as long as you want to do that. Attempt relevant questions. So, what a lot of people do is we tend to read a lot, read, and then forget that there are questions too. So when questions come, you're like, you haven't really been doing questions, so you're not sure on how to apply the notes to your questions. So as soon as you read, try to look at some questions and see that what you read and what the questions are asking, are they in line? If not, then it means that there was something wrong either with the questions that you're doing, they're not from the same topic, or maybe the book that you were using. Be consistent. So this is a very important point. Consistency is key. So what this means is there's nothing like today I study for 5 hours, then 2 days I don't study anything, the next day I study for 1 hour, then after that I study for 6 hours. That's not how you do this. You need to be very consistent. So if you plan on studying, you need to study 2 hours at least 5 days a week. Then maybe give yourself 2 days break depending on what phase of studies you're in. If these are just normal lectures, maybe 2 hours might be enough. But if it's exam period, you might have to study for 4 to 5 hours. Study the right material. So always follow the recommended textbooks. Do not start going through 100 textbooks. So always ask your seniors or your lecturer that what textbooks are recommended and then follow those. But well, one thing I would like to tell you is it's not important that the recommended books are the ones that you like. But always have them in your pocket, and even if there's another book that you like, make sure it's written by a well-known author, and then you can always be comparing what you're reading with the material in the recommended textbook. Make short notes. So always try to make short notes in your own words. Try not to write everything word to word. Always try to write notes how you understand them. So what I mean is sometimes we read a paragraph when we're writing, we tend to read the same paragraph. Don't do that. Just try to think that, so what did I get from here? What point did I get? If it was a paragraph of 10, maybe there were one or two things that you clearly understood, and then try to write them in your own words. Repeat the material you have studied. So, well, what you can do is if you plan to study for 1 hour, spend 50 minutes reading your material and the last 10 minutes just trying to go through or just try to remember what you had studied, and maybe 3 to 4 days later, try to look back at the same material that you did. So that way your retention is going to increase. So, while you could even use maximize study time by using specific, define your goal using clear language: who, what, where, why, when, which, measurable. Determine how to measure success: how much, how many, achievable. Yeah, you need to make sure your goals are reasonable, realistic, and you have the skills. Relevant. Set your goal relevant to your life. Does it fit your needs and have impact? Time bound. Give your goal a time limit. Is your deadline reasonable? So a goal without a plan is just a wish. So if you follow the above tips that I've talked about, if you have some more study tips, feel free to comment. Thank you.